Hey guys, welcome to today's Vehicle Visionary. If you're looking for a vehicle that at its highest trim level comes in under $30,000, has a comfortable and roomy interior, a reasonable amount of cargo space, excellent fuel economy, and for being a hybrid, impressive acceleration, what you would get is what my friends at Holmes Honda have loaned me today. It's the 2020 Honda Insight. And this is the touring trim level that we're going to take a look at. So we're going to talk about all of those features that I just mentioned, in addition to the technology and the infotainment system and how all that works. We're going to spend a good bit of time on that so you know what's there and how simple it is to use. So let's get started. As a high-performance enthusiast, I like to know how things work, mechanically speaking. And when it comes to mechanically speaking, what's under the hood is rather impressive. It may not be impressive for its acceleration and its high-performance numbers, a lot of horsepower and torque necessarily, but what you will get is an interesting view when you open the hood. If you're facing the front of the vehicle, on your left is a 1.5-liter four-cylinder gas engine. On your right is the electric motor. And those two work together to motivate this Insight to get down the road. When the electric motor gets below a certain charge, the gas motor will kick on, and that will actually not only allow you to continue going down the road, traveling down the road, but it will charge the electric motor at the same time. And when the capacity of that charge gets to a certain point, the gas engine shuts down, the electric motor takes over. And it's quite an interesting experience to drive down the road and see how that all works and hear how it all works. This combination is mated to a continuously variable speed transmission. That's why when you look on the steering wheel, what appears to be shifter paddles are actually the controls that you use to determine how the regenerative braking works on this car. Now, I said the gas mileage was impressive, and indeed it is. Yes, those numbers are correct. It's a little bit different from what we're used to, but that's what the manufacturer has on the Monroney label on the window. So, obviously great gas mileage, and remember, again, I said under $30,000. Not bad in this day and age. And before we step into the interior on this 94-degree day here in Northwest Louisiana, let's talk about cargo space. It ranges between 14.7 cubic feet and 15.1 cubic feet. And you can maximize the interior cargo space by dropping the rear seat backs flat and allowing you to use more than just the trunk space here. But don't go looking for an interior release on those seat backs. They're actually found here inside the trunk on the top, on the right and left-hand sides here. All you do is pull on those and then you can go in and fold those seat backs down. Okay guys, let's take a quick look around the interior here. I said it's spacious and comfortable, and it most certainly is. And before I get too far, you do have a sunroof here, the touring trim level, so a nice feature if that's something you wish to take advantage of. And a litany of safety features, quite a few of those. And the way the interior is laid out here, you do have some contrast stitching throughout that just gives this Insight a bit of a sporty look and feel. You can turn all of those safety features on and off at your desire, depending on what you want to do. And of course, everything's easy to get to here, whether it's the controls to the left of the steering wheel or the steering wheel mounted controls themselves. And on the easy to read and navigate dashboard, it's not overloaded with information. For being a hybrid, not bad at all. Not too much information. You can keep up what's going on with the electric motor and with your gas engine as well, seeing how much gas is remaining in the tank, speedometer, and all that good stuff. You also will see what the speed limit is when you're driving down the road. So a nice little feature there. And a lot more information that you can toggle your way through via the buttons here, the switches on the left-hand side of the steering wheel. Go into a lot of different areas of information, make some changes, set things the way you want to, whatever the case may be. And we're going to take a closer look at the infotainment screen in just a minute here. So before we do that, of course, you have a push button start right there to the right of the steering wheel, dual zone climate control, everything very easy to navigate and use there. Now, something I'm definitely not going to be using today, but it is available here on the Insight, is heated seats. Not going to do that on a 94-degree day. Couple of USB ports. You noticed I haven't mentioned those yet? Well, that's where they are, right here on the lower portion of the dashboard here in the center, as well as a 12-volt power outlet. And a very simple to use and understand if you've never done it before. Again, new technology for our day and age, or not necessarily new, but something that might be new to some people who haven't purchased a new vehicle in quite a few years. It's the push button shifter, but very easy to use with park, reverse, neutral, drive, and the electronic parking brake. Brake hold mode is there, and if you're not familiar with what that is, if you're in heavy traffic, maybe going up or down a hill, and you don't want to keep going in and out of park or keeping your foot on the brake pedal the whole time, well, that's what brake hold is for. You engage the brakes, come to a complete stop. The brakes are going to lock the car in place until you push the gas pedal again to go down the road. So a nice little feature there. And the buttons here to the right of the push button shifter, you've got Econ mode, Sport mode, and the button to the right of Sport mode is the button for going into EV mode if you want to. And it will only do that, of course, it'll give you a little chime and let you know that the electric motor doesn't have efficient charge to do so. And that's what I'm getting right now. So if you heard that, that's what that is. Now here's something that's interesting. It doesn't look like you have a very large console here, but you do have a reasonable amount of room here. You've got a nice little tray there. You can keep some change or whatever will fit in there in that area. And you can move that forward to access more space underneath that. And you do have two cup holders here. Let's say you have a really large cup, maybe one of those big gulps or something like that, whatever that may be, or just your large coffee cup or whatever you've got. And it doesn't fit in these two conventional size cup holders. You can slide those back, and there's a real large, much larger cup holder underneath. Or you could even use that for storage space if you so desire. Okay guys, I wanted to move to a different location, which, by the way, a shout out to my friends here at Southern Automation Incorporated. Check out their website if you're looking for production equipment, packaging equipment, all that kind of stuff. These guys help me out here a lot. I really appreciate my friend Jeremy who runs this operation. So we're going to run through this real quick, and I wanted to do this so you could actually see it for yourself. And one thing I haven't mentioned is this particular model has Honda Lane Watch. That's that camera over on the right side view mirror. When you turn your blinker on, you will actually see what that camera sees. You don't even have to look over your shoulder into your blind spot. A very nice feature. So let's run through this infotainment screen. You have several different options here that you can go through. And I'm not going to cover every single one, but just a few that I find to be important. Obviously, you have Bluetooth here, so you can pair your phone. You've got navigation right there. And you can hit the back button, or you can hit home to go back. Phone settings, radio, everything that you would want to see. In fact, here's a little something that I like seeing. This is the information about what's going on with your hybrid Honda Insight. So not much to see right now because we're not going down the road. If I put it in drive, it's not going to actually change anything, so I can't really show you that. But anyway, you can hit the back button or you can hit the home button to go through there. And here is something I do want to spend a little bit of time on here. Settings. And you can go through and make a lot of changes to a lot of areas of the Insight here. You've got the system you can go through here. I mean, there's even more right there, but like I said, so easy. If you want to change the language, that's where you do that, the day and the time. System volumes, all that good stuff. Touch panel sensitivity. That's nice to have. That way, if you're not happy with the responsiveness, or maybe it's too touch sensitive for you, you can go in and change that. So that's nice. And of course, a lot more things here. Factory date reset, about, detail information, just so much that you can go through right there. Now we'll go back. You've got system connections, display, sound, vehicle. You can go in and make changes for your camera, whether it's the rear camera or the lane watch that I mentioned earlier and how that works. So quite a few things there. Connections, display, sound, a lot to take in. But like I said, so easy to use. If you want to go in and make adjustments on the radio, well, there you go right there. You can do that. And I'm going to turn that down and off so I don't get hit by a copyright infringement here on YouTube. We don't want to do that. And of course here, if you want to take a look at what's going on, how many miles you have left for your range and all that good stuff, how far you can drive, which I'm actually very low on gas, and so I'm glad I looked at that. I can easily make it back to the dealership based on that information. And as you continue to scroll your way through, of course, you had FM right here, so for your FM station, and then you have AM right here if you want to go straight to that. Messages, just so much here. Sirius XM radio is available, obviously, here. That's where you would go in and take advantage of that. So many great things here. You adjust your clock, or look at the clock, I should say. There that is, if you want to see that on the display a little bit larger. You know, the time is displayed up here in the top right hand corner, but as you can see, it's super simple to use and navigate. And there's your Honda Home Link if you need to go in there for whatever reason. Everything super easy here. You can also click down here, all apps, on the bottom left hand side of the screen, and go through and see these in a bit of a different configuration depending on what you like. So if you want to see what all's there, you can. And as you can see, USB 1 and 2, trip computer system updates, smartphone connection, so much there, but yet it's so simple to navigate. I really find this to be one of the easiest infotainment screens in the industry. Since you made it to this point in the video, guys, thank you first of all. And I have a question for you. Since you watched the video to this point, is this something you're planning to buy, or maybe it's something you already own? Tell me down in the comments. I'd like to hear about your experiences with the Insight or whatever Honda you may have, or whatever vehicle it may be. And if you want me to do a video on a particular make and model of vehicle, tell me down in the comments and I will do everything I can to make that happen. I would like to thank my friends at Holmes Honda for loaning me this Insight for the day. I always appreciate that. And all of you for being kind enough to take the time to watch. Have a great day, guys. I always appreciate your time, and I will see you in my next video.